Well, folks, we got a bunch of stuff to bring to you today, including some news coming from one of the co-founders of Bloober team, talking about an exclusive horror game that they have in the works for Switch 2. So we're going to go over that a bit. There was the Dragon Quest event earlier today. I do apologize. I was planning to live stream that event, but life happened. That said, we're going to go over the three big stories from that, including Dragon Quest 12 being basically reintroduced to us and looking really, really good. We have some new micro SD cards entering into the fray in terms of the Express brand, specifically targeted at Switch 2, so more competition in that space. We have just a reminder from Nintendo about the adventures of Elliot, so we'll go over that just a smidge. We got to go over as well Nintendo's new basically an NSO game trial. We got to go over that. We have a quote from an interview that friend of the channel Kiwi Talks, who's going to be on the Nintendo Byte podcast tonight. He talked to somebody who is a developer in Japan who knows Eiji Aonuma and asked him a question about Aonuma, which could explain why Zelda games are kind of the way they are. Reviews have landed for Mina the Hollower today, and let's just say it's pretty impressive. We'll get to that. More so than that, Insider Gaming is bringing to us a report on Rayman Legends, a remaster, a remake, something that we've known for a bit has been rumored to be coming, is apparently going to be revealed next week. And we have some news on that, not just from Insider Gaming, but also from Nate the Hate. And beyond all of that, Dio Labs, aka Bill Kun, has brought exclusive information about the Switch 2 version of Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. So again, a lot of the stuff we're going to be seeing next month, but still, really cool to get this news now. What I am just going to say, folks, is we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. The only requirement is to be subscribed to the channel. You can enter through the link down in the pinned comment or the description. Thank you guys so much. And let's go ahead and dive into this first story. And we're talking about a person who co-founded Bloober team. They're the ones that made like Chronos the New Dawn. You go here, Piotr Babiano. So this is his LinkedIn profile, because that's where the information is coming from, is that very profile. And here's a post he made to people who follow him on LinkedIn. So he said, I have a question that's been on my mind for quite a while. What could Nintendo Switch 2 do for horror games in a way that PC, PlayStation, or Xbox simply wouldn't be able to replicate in quite the same way? I'm not even talking about the raw power or the graphics, more about how the platform itself can influence experience design, immersion, tension, player behavior, portability, console features, controllers, the feeling of closeness with the game, or even completely different approaches to building atmosphere. What kind of horror game design would you personally love to see here? By the way, you definitely tell he's got the mind of a creator, a designer, with the way he's talking about this stuff. Anyways, one thing I've always appreciated about Nintendo platforms is they often inspire design decisions you probably wouldn't make anywhere else. And honestly, that's what excites me the most. I'm not asking how to make a horror more casual or safer. Quite the opposite. How to create something uniquely Nintendo while still maintaining dark, disturbing, and fully horror-driven. I've already have my own thoughts, but I'm genuinely curious about yours. Of course, there's always a chance we're already working on something similar, so if you're afraid of sharing your idea publicly, maybe keep the best ones to yourself. And one final thing, which horror game released on Nintendo platforms left the biggest impression on you? Also slightly unrelated, but fascinating from a research perspective. What season of the year feels best for playing horror games to you? For me, I'm going to say October. I don't know, Halloween always kind of felt like the right time. And anyways, you can go down on here and you can see like all the people who have commented, and that's cool. The thing is, obviously, he's kind of talking about their upcoming Switch 2 exclusive game, codenamed Project M. That seems to be another horror game coming to Nintendo Switch 2. We'll have to see what happens here, but it is kind of interesting getting a little bit of a peek behind the mind behind that upcoming game and the way that they're approaching game development. All right, next up, this is when we get into some crazy good stuff here regarding Dragon Quest. So there was a Dragon Quest event today, and while it was only 10 minutes long or 9 minutes or so, there was actually quite a bit packed into it. First off, let's go with the announcement they ended with, and that was Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World is announced for Switch 1 and Switch 2. Here's the trailer for that. And rounding out the Dragon Quest 40th Anniversary Showcase, we got our very first peek at the next entry in the Dragon Quest Monsters spin-off series, The Withered World. The teaser was admittedly pretty light light on details. We saw a bunch of monsters, 2 young protagonists. That's about it. It was all accompanied by vague coming soon message, though Eiji Horii noted we hope to release before Dragon Quest XII. Just in case that sounds like it might be coming soon, the announcement also contained news that the development has restarted for the mainline entry of the series. We're going to get to that in a moment. So there you have it. Monster Hunter games in the works. Really glad to see that game is coming over. Now, we're not done with the Dragon Quest news. You might have heard that he was talking about Dragon Quest XII. Well, as we get in here, Dragon Quest XII gets a new update. In fact, here's just a look at Dragon Quest XII. Literally, they have rebooted the game. Yosuke Sato and Eiji Horii from Square Enix revealed that the new title for Dragon Quest XII, after confirming development, was completely reset following multiple hurdles. The new title is called Dragon Quest XII Beyond Dreams. As a reminder, the old subtitle was Flames of Fate with a much darker and oppressive logo. No platforms have been confirmed at the time of writing, and it sounds like we might be waiting for a while for this one to launch. Gosh, is it going to be Metroid Prime 4 all over again? Despite this, we got our first glimpse at the footage, as you're seeing already, and it's, hey, they're apparently beset by strange visions in their sleep. The visuals look nice and all that, and it will probably run perfectly fine on Switch 2. Obviously not confirmed for Switch 2, but this is Dragon Quest. It sells a lot of units on Nintendo. It would be foolish for them not to be bringing it over. More than that, there was one final update, for Dragon Quest, and this has to do with Dragon Quest XI's, and I'm just going to let the trailer play. It's in Japanese, but it is well worth watching. So here we go.
あんたはね、勇者の生まれ変わりなんだよ。
お主らの力が必要なんじゃ。
彼は私たちの希望の光。
その技こそ勇者の印。
あなたと共に私は勇者様と一緒に戦います。
まったく驚いたぜ。大したもんだな、勇者ってのは。
運命ってわからないものね。
仲間と協力する絆の力こそ最強の武器なんでしょ。
俺にも見させてくれよな、勇者の奇跡ってやつを。
So as you're seeing there, it's coming September 24th to Switch 2. No surprise, they're going to bring over a native Switch 2 version of the game. Because again, as I said, Dragon Quest sells very, very well on Nintendo. Now, next up, we're going to dive into the world of microSD Express. Now, they've been getting more and more expensive, and it's really unfortunate with the memory shortages out there and everything, but we have a new competitor entering the marketplace, and whenever you have new competitors entering the marketplace, this is good because this can lead to prices coming down. So Delkin Devices is launching a new microSD Express cards optimized for Switch 2. Now, the big thing here is they don't have any of the specs listed or any of the speeds, just the sizes. So 128, 256, and 512. Unfortunately, they're not doing a 1 terabyte, and it's going to be available at select authorized retailers in person and online. Again, there's no date on when these are going to be available, but it is just another competitor. And again, they specifically in their press release talk about how they're targeting Switch 2. So, yeah. Look, guys, I don't know much about this brand. I don't know if they're reliable, but hey, more options in the marketplace is always good. And if they charge a significantly cheaper price than others, that will be notable. Next up, this is just a quick reminder. I don't know if you need this reminder, but Nintendo thought you needed it a couple days ago. A new demo featuring the opening chapter for The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales is available on Switch 2. It is, and apparently the save data is going to transfer into the final game, I've been told, so take that for what you will, guys. I just wanted to give you that quick reminder. Also, this is another quick one. This is actually about a new game trial, and it's about Ball X Pit. You can now download and try the full Ball X Pit until June 1st at midnight, so pretty cool, guys. You could actually probably beat the game between now and then if you really want to. It's a very good game, and I'm just glad to see Nintendo continue to do these game trials. I wish they would do them more often. Like every month would be nice, but you don't always get what you want. Speaking of not always getting what you want, we don't always get what we want from the Legend of Zelda franchise. Okay, I get what I want a lot of the time, but we're actually talking about an interview that Kiwi Talks, friend of the channel, Reese Riley, did with Jake Kasdell. Now, as you're going to see here, Jake Kasdell is a Japanese game designer who lives in Nintendo's backyard in Kyoto. So he knows a lot of the living legends at Nintendo. In fact, he's had lunch and dinner with them. You can see that he's a CEO and creative director at 17-Bit. So obviously he runs his own indie company. Anyways, he knows Eiji Aonuma personally and wanted to talk about him and give some words on who he's like as a person, because this could also affect his game design philosophy. And hey, we have another big 3D Zelda game coming where he is the producer. So let's see what Jake had to say here about Aonuma.
Since you're friends with Aonuma, is there something about him that people might not know that you think is really interesting about him?
He's a goofball, man. He's funny. He's a funny dude, man. He really is he likes to screw around. He's always cracking jokes, and he's not a serious man. Like I mean, I haven't worked for him. I haven't seen what he looks like when the lights go on at 9 a.m. within the Nintendo headquarters. Maybe he's a demon of some sort. I don't know. But hanging out with him, you're like, wow, this guy is just like, he's just having a good time. He's passionate and funny, and he's a great guy. I really, really just like him. Like I like messing with him. Like we, instead of screwing with each other, and it's just, yeah, he's a lot of fun. I'm glad he's the guy in charge of making this fun franchise, because I think that he definitely is having a good time.
He won't be forever though.
No.
Yeah.
No, he won't. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that, because I don't know who's gonna. I mean, obviously they got all kinds of amazing dudes there now that are part of that project. It's not like he's the only guy, but it is. It's a sobering thought to think of a Zelda without him.
What did you think of the physics system with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
Okay, deep question. And this is exactly kind of where I'm trying to make a dent. So, two sides to that game. One side is the vehicles that are purely physically simulated, and they're amazing, right? They're like, you could build this stuff just balancing on this weird bike thing that you made. Oh, I don't have enough thrust, or I have too much weight up front, and like you're back and forth, and you're like learning how to ride this thing and like when to apply thrust so you don't fall all the way over. That is pure physics play at its best. It's amazing. They nailed it. They killed it. It's so much fun. They built an entire game around it. You can sit and play all this fun stuff. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Full stop. Character physics. Character physics are not physically simulated. They are binary canned actions, and they're binary canned responses. If you hit someone hard enough, they'll flop into a ragdoll state, and they'll kind of slide down the hill and look physical. But as soon as they pop back up, they're back to a binary speed. They've got their binary canned animations. They've got their binary hit responses. It kills me that those guys are like right at the verge of this amazing physical thing. And then right where it matters most, they're like, we go back to just like standard gameplay. And I'm like, can you imagine if you swung a big sword and it was bigger than the other swords, and you were like, holy shit, you could really feel it, and it had a physical response, such as those bigger objects in the game, when they fall slower, they feel heavier. Like if you have a big steel thing and you drop it, watch it clang around, or a little thing and it bounces around. Imagine they took all those physics that exist in their video game right now and applied that to actual forces on the player. You would have a totally different video game, and it would be
maybe the next Zelda. You're friends with Aonuma. Have you had this discussion with him?
I am going to soon. I want to invite him over to the studio and talk about the game. We've talked quite a bit in the past. I haven't had a chance to sit down and really do this rant, but I intend to.
So there you have it. That was Kiwi Talks. You can check out the full clip and obviously the entire interview you did. I'll link the full interview down below for you guys to check out. Kiwi Talks, again, is going to be coming on our podcast tonight. He's been teasing about leaking some games on our show tonight, so that's exciting. He also has now publicly confirmed, I already knew privately, that he's going to be making an announcement about his actual interview channel here and the future of it tonight on our podcast. So take that for what you will. Now we're going to dive into Mina the Hollower. Reviews are in 92. It keeps bouncing between like a 92 and a 93 on Metacritic. It's really teetering there. But it is officially the highest rated video game of the year, at least as of right now. It is 1 point ahead of Forza, and obviously ahead of, let's see, I think Pocopia, at 89. But as we come down here, you see obviously on the all platforms, the Switch 2 has the lowest total review score. Obviously, most of the ones they're counting here in these 40-something plus are probably the PC ones, I assume, because that's where most of the reviews actually are. Anyways, so we go in here, you can see some of the reviews. So it says, Mina the Hollower is an amazing title from Yacht Club Games that everyone needs to try. It looks and sounds spectacular, has awesome accessibility options, and is compelling to play. Add this to your library right now. You can scroll all the way down to, I don't know if there's, is there going to be a negative? Do you guys think there's a negative critic review in here? Do you think there's any? No. Is there any mixed? No. There's like nothing negative in any of the reviews. Like, I guess the lowest review is probably like a 70, maybe. I don't even know. As I keep scrolling, I don't, dude, I see 80s. The lowest review is an 80. So everyone just seems to be really loving this game. And guess what, guys? I've been playing it for 2 weeks, and I can tell you right now, Mina the Hollower is my favorite game I have played this year. What does that mean to you? Probably not a whole lot, but take that for what you will. We did last week, I believe it was. Yeah, I feel like it was last week. We had the Mina the Hollower devs on. Maybe it was the week before. Either way, we recently had the Mina the Hollower devs on. If you guys want to go check out that episode, I'll link that episode down below as well. But yeah, Mina the Hollower is out this Friday. So have fun, guys. It's a really, really good game. Just $20. Well worth the $20. All right. Next up, we have some news here about Rayman Legends Remake. First off, Insider Gaming has some details here. So, reported a couple of years ago, Rayman Legends Remake was in the works. The development of Rayman Legends Remake was bolstered by former Prince of Persia team. The team has been hard at work on reimagining the beloved platformer, and the good news was added to a few months later by our exclusive report about Ubisoft reaffirming it's working on the future of Rayman. That future is nearly here. So they're saying Rayman Legends Retold is coming out in October 2026. So Rayman Legends Retold, aka Project Steambot, is expected within the next week to be revealed, and that the game is scheduled to release on October 1st. They're thinking it might get revealed at Summer Game Fest. They're also confirming that this is the actual logo. So this person who posted it, that is the real logo. Look, this is Ubisoft. Everything leaks out of Ubisoft, so no one's really surprised here. But okay, it's going to be revealed next week. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, it'll be revealed at Summer Game Fest. Well, not according to Nate the Hate. Here's his account on Reset Era, Nate Drake. It says, it's at the State of Play and has new content and more. I think it's going to impress people. And again, this is about the Rayman Legends Retold. As you're going to see when we get to the top of the thread here, what we're talking about. This is about Rayman Legends Retold. So, yeah, State of Play. State of Play is happening on the 2nd for those curious. I will be live streaming it. So we have a lot of live streams next week. Actually, next week's kind of a crazy week. We're going to have a ton of live streams. So I hope you look forward to that. All right. Next up, our final story of the day comes from Bill Cunn, who's been really reliable with information in the past, over at Deal Labs, talking about Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. We're going to reveal its contents. After exclusively revealing the release date and price on Switch 2, we take a look at the exact content. So, obviously, they've already previously revealed it's coming out on June 23rd and going to be $50 in the US. But they got more information. So, Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is presented as the most complete version of the game to date. It includes all updates, DLC, and gameplay improvements released since the original launch in 2022. It's expected this edition will also contain the bonuses available in the Deluxe Edition. The biggest new feature for Switch 2 players lies in the technical optimization. There will be improved performance, better graphics, and reduced loading times. These are welcome adjustments for the game. So, look, guys, the way that I kind of view this as, that feels like the bare minimum. That feels like a Switch 2 edition or like a free update. Except they're probably not going to give a free update and just make you buy the game all over again for $70. But anyways, I digress. We don't really know. I mean, okay. Let me step that back. We know it's not $70. We know it's $50. But still, man, it kind of feels like it should just be a free update. Just saying. if like the biggest deal of this update is just like better graphics and frame rate, that's free updates, man. Or if you're gonna charge for the update, charge less. Like, it kind of sucks. Or I'll say this. Maybe sell this definitive edition on its own, but then sell a Switch 2 edition like upgrade pack separately for like 10 or 20 bucks. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here, guys. I'm trying to have your back. I'm trying to have your back. All right, guys. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you know what, guys? I'll catch you on the Nintendo Bite podcast tonight at 8 p.m.